Welcome back to another Uptempo basketball game. In this game, I'm going to be showing off something brand new. So this is going to be the NCAA version of Uptempo basketball. So far, we've only done NBA seasons, but I do have plans to do some NCAA basketball. So I got our setup here. First thing you'll notice is the clock is different. So this is going to be two 20-minute halves plus an overtime, just like college basketball. And then we have our teams, and they're very similar, but not exactly the same as before. We'll have 92 Duke Blue Devils against the 1990 UNLV Running Rebels. So we got a demo up. I'll put a link to that in the description, and you can play these two teams or Loyola Marymount, which I misspelled their name, but that's the Hank Gathers Bo Kimball 1990 team. So you can play between these three teams and just test it out, see what you think. This is going to be the very first playthrough that I've ever made of this game. I'm sure someone has played this even before I have. So I just put this out yesterday. You'll notice that there's no defense here and no defensive ratings for the individual players. The defensive rating that I was using for Uptempo basketball in the NBA does not exist for the college, at least for these years. Um, but we do have all of our same play types. We have runs, and we have so a free throw percentage, 2-point percentage, etc. And then each of these percentages, we do have those for each of the players. So almost, probably 90% there. Uh, excuse me, compared to the NBA game. I don't think that it's going to destroy the quality of the game. So at least I'm hoping. All right, I'm going to try to take it slow. I keep starting and stopping the video because I just can't remember to do the clock. That's why I made this app, so I don't have to think about the clock anymore. But because I haven't built a college version, then I'm having to do the clock. So I'm going to try to remember, hopefully having the score sheet with all the players and going sort of slower through the game is going to help me just to remember everything. I am dealing with a little bit of a sickness. I'll try not to cough in your ear, but I can't make any promises. All right, so this is going to be the 92 Duke Blue Devils against the 1990 UNLV Running Rebels. And ball goes to UNLV to start the game on the tip-off. So first roll is going to be a 35. That's going to be free throw attempts for Stacy Ogman. Ogman is a 67% free throw shooter. So first one is up, and the second one is up. And that's going to be 2 for Ogman. So UNLV takes a 2-0 lead. There's 28, so right back the other way. Duke takes it hard to the hole. This is going to be Leitner going down the lane, and he's going to be fouled. So that's going to be first one good, second one good. So both teams looking good from the forward position so far as we have a 2-2 ball game. 26, back to the free throw line. This time it's going to be LJ, Larry Johnson, to the line, and that'll be first bucket good, second bucket missed. So Johnson misses on the second, and that's going to be a 3-2 lead for UNLV. Don't know if I moved that one. 47, 2-point attempt. This is to Thomas Hill. The 20 is well within his range, and so that's going to be buckets for Thomas Hill. Oh, wrong hill. We got two hills on here. We got Grand Hill and Thomas Hill, so I got to keep those straight. And 63, that's going to be 2 points for Larry Johnson as he puts it in. He's got 3 on the game. And a 5, that's going to be a turnover by the Blue Devils. Back the other way, UNLV takes it to the heart of the hole. This is going to be, who is this? Moses Scurry off the bench as he takes it to the bucket. And I think these should be reversed. It's a little bit of a mess up. There's no way that he's a 0% shooter. I've seen him make baskets. Maybe all of these should be reversed. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like these over here. I got to go back through and find those. Probably shouldn't be a 0% 2-point shooter and a 53% 3-point shooter. That's probably not it. All right. Anyway, Moses Scurry with the bucket. And that's going to be an early 7-4 lead for UNLV. Duke comes back down the floor, and they get a 2 from Grant Hill as he gets his first points of the game. 7-6, our score now. There's a 64, and that's going to be buckets from Larry Johnson again as LJ banging inside. Duke comes back the other way and turns it over. Hurley throws that one away. Here's a 33. I just love to say Hurley throws it away, so I'm probably going to say that a lot. 33 free throw attempts for Duke, and this is going to be for UNLV. Travis Bice, who is the point guard coming off the bench. 81% shooter. He misses the first and hits the second. So our lead now is 10-6, UNLV over Duke. Duke comes back. They're going to be on a run. That's a 2. So 1-3 is a run for Duke. And the run is a 31. That's going to be a 9-2 run. Realistically, this should be the same. So we're going to play it like that. It's still the same. 31 is a 9-2 run. But just need to make sure I shore up these prototypes. This should be for a terrible team. This should be for a great team. So that's a 9-2 run for the Dukies. And let's see. Let's just play this straight up. Got our run cards here. And so the 9-2 run. If you don't play with these, I understand. But if you want to keep track of all the individual points, then it's just a great little chart to keep track of those individual points. So 56 is here. So we have 2 for the shooting guard, just Thomas Hill, 2 for Grant Hill, 3. Leitner cans a 3-pointer, and then 2 for Lang as he gets his first points of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 2 points go to Greg Anthony. So a 9-2 run gives the Duke Blue Devils the lead. It's going to be 15-12 over UNLV. And we're going to take 2 minutes off the clock, so 15:45 right there. Trying to hold it up with my voice. And it may turn out that we need more time than that off the clock. I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe 3 minutes in the college game. I'm not sure. That's why I want you to play it, so we can figure this stuff out. Like, what's the optimal? At 11, that's going to be a turnover, so Duke or UNLV follows up that run with a turnover. Here's a 41. 41 is going to be a free throw attempt that goes to Grant Hill. Hill misses the first, that 88, and he goes to the line and misses both. So that's a tough one. as Grant Hill misses both free throws. And Duke can't capitalize on the UNLV turnover. 51, that's going to be an and one. That's to Larry Johnson as he bangs it down inside. And he gets the three-point play. That's 2 plus 1. So that knots the score at 15. Grandmama brings it home. There's a 3. That's going to be a run from Duke. And that's a 14. So 14 is going to be an 8-0 run for the Blue Devils. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As they run out in front. Basically with back-to-back scoring runs. And let's get our 8-0 run here. This was one of there are good Duke Blue Devil teams, and there are great ones, and this is one of the great ones. So 8-0, 55 is our roll here. So we got 3. Thomas Hill hits a 3, and Grant Hill scores a couple buckets, and then we got one from the center. So he makes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. All right, so that accounts for our 8-0 run. We take 2 minutes off the clock. Where are we at? 15-15, so 13-15. And 13-15 left in the half. It's 23-15, Duke over UNLV. There's 23. 23 is going to be free throw attempts. That goes to the center, David Butler, who gets hacked and goes to the line. He's going to miss the first and make the second. So Butler with his first points of the day. It's going to be a 17. So Duke back to the line. This is going to be Bobby Hurley. He makes the first and the second. So Hurley gets on the board for the first time today. 25-16 is the Duke lead. 87. Oh, we got a three-point attempt here, and that's to Anderson Hunt. He's a 38% three-point shooter, and he bangs it home from the corner. So Anderson Hunt with his first points of the game as he lets it fly from 3. 25-19 is our score, with 12 and a half minutes left in the half. 71. What is 70? 71 is going to be a bucket. That's from Grant Hill, as Grant Hill puts in yet another bucket. He's got quite a few here. What is he? A 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points here in the first half. There's an 85. That's going to be another three-point shot, this time from Greg Anthony. And Anthony's going to miss on that one. So Anthony with the three-point miss. Duke comes back down the other way. In transition, Duke is going to get the bucket. That's going to be from Marty Clark. So Marty Clark with his first 2 off the bench. And the score is 29-19. Every time UNLV gets close, they just can't quite get the stop. So it's going to be a 2-pointer. That's to Grandmama, and that's going to be another bucket for Larry Johnson. 21-29. 70. I'm sure I'm missing the clock here, so I'm trying my best. I'll get this updated so it'll be easier. 70. That's going to be a bucket from Christian Leitner. Leitner's got 5 in the game now. 87, another three-point attempt. This one from Greg Anthony again. Anthony now 0 for 2 as he misses that one. And the ball goes back to Duke. They come back down and they start a run. So that's going to be an 8-0 run for Duke. Duke full of runs in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And UNLV looking for their first run. They have not had any so far. And really runs are, that's basketball, right? Sometimes you get on a run and you just start rolling people up. I was watching the 1990 game, and that's what happened to Duke. UNLV just kept pounding. 8-0 run. We got a 20 here, so that's going to be this first line. So we got 2. We got a bucket for Hurley, and we got 4 points for Thomas Hill, and we got a bucket for Grant Hill. And that accounts for our scoring there in the 8-0 run. And we take 2 minutes off the clock. That's going to be down to 9:15. So 9:15 left in the half. It's Duke 39, UNLV 21. So a commanding lead, and then UNLV comes down and coughs it up. That's going to be 60, so that's a bucket for Marty Clark as he gets his second score of the day. And Duke pushes it back up. Should be here, right? Okay. 51. 51 is going to be an M1, and that goes to Stacey Ogman as he gets to the rim, and he puts in the he completes the 3-point play. I believe so. 2 and a 3. That's going to be 24-41. 41-24. There's our Duke lead. Here's going to be another bucket, and that will be to Brian Davis. So Brian Davis with his first 2 of the day. Coming in off the Duke bench. There's a 70. 70 is going to be buckets for Moses Scurry. Scurry 4 points in the game. The lead is 43-26. Duke over UNLV. UNLV finds themselves in the position they put Duke in 1992 or 91 or 1990, I guess. 82. That's going to be a bucket for Thomas Hill. Hill having a nice game. This is 75. 75 is going to be good for David Butler. He's got 3 in the game. 7.5 minutes left in the half. And I can tell that we're going to need to make some adjustments on the clock here. So maybe my original thought was 30 seconds at a time. So we'll have to see. But I was doing by halves, and I thought, well, maybe not. But it looks like we've got a lot of possessions here. So it's going to be a 48 to Duke is going to be a 2-point attempt, and that goes to Grant Hill. He's a 61% shooter, and he hits that one as he drives down the lane. I think Grant Hill took 1 3-point shot that year. He got 1 opportunity. He took 1 3 and he missed it. He was total mid-range and getting to the basket. 81 is going to be a bucket that is to Greg Anthony as he hits a little floater and he gets off the schneid. He had previously missed a couple of 3-point shots. There's a 68. Just ignore that. 68 is going to be a bucket, and don't know who that went to because I didn't do anything, so we'll just give it to Hurley. Why not? And here goes to UNLV. 57 is going to be a 2-pointer, and that goes to Sjanovic. So Sjanovic gets on the board with his first bucket of the game off the bench. 57, that's going to be 2 points. This goes to Christian Leitner. Leitner with another deuce. That gives him 3, 5, 7, 9 for the game. Score is 51, 32. And I think we're going to wind up with an NBA score, as maybe we'll just play the first half here. So 34. 34 is a free throw attempt, and that's going to go to Stacey Ogman. He's a 67%, 28, yeah, to Ogman. So he makes the first, and he misses the second. So it's going to be 1 for Ogman, and that's a 33. So our score is Duke 51, UNLV 33. Duke with the ball. And it's a 53. That's going to be a 2-point attempt from Antonio Lang. He's a 56% shooter, and he makes the bucket. 5:45 left in the half. There's a 25. A 25 is going to be free throw attempts, and that goes to Larry Johnson. He makes the first and makes the second. So LJ with 2 more points. That gives him 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So he's got 12 in the half. 73, that's going to be a bucket for Grant Hill as he hits the 14-footer. And 85, this will be a 3-point attempt for Anderson Hunt. 51 is higher than his 38, so that's actually going to be a miss for him as he's 1 for 2 from 3. There's a 38. 38 is a free throw attempt by Brian Davis, 74% free throw shooter, so he makes them both. And he's got 4 points in the game. Score is 57-35. Duke over UNLV with a commanding lead. It's going to be another turnover from the Running Rebels. 24 is going to be free throw attempts to, let's do that. This can be Brian Davis, 74% free throw shooter. And that's going to be first one good and second one good. So Davis gets back to the line. He's got 6 in the game. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in the half. This will be a 51. 51 is going to be an and one, and that's going to go to Sjanovic, who he takes it down the lane, and it gets hammered, and he puts in the free throw, 90% free throw shooter. So he completes the 3-point play. And 1, 2, 3, and that gives him 38. 4 minutes left in the half. Duke basketball. Here is a bucket. That's going to be from Grant Hill, as Hill takes it down the lane again and puts it in for 2. There's a 20. 20 is going to be free throw attempts, and that's going to go to Sjanovic. So 90% shooter. He makes both, and so Sjanovic now with 5, 7 in the game. Score is Duke 59, UNLV 40. So UNLV just not able to make any headway here. And here's a 43. This is going to be free throw attempts. 43 to Christian Leitner. He's an 81% free throw shooter. So he's going to put both of them in. And Duke stretches the lead to 20 plus. UNLV back down the floor. Going hard to the rim is Stacey Ogman. He gets fouled. He's going to put the first one in, and he is going to make the second. So that's Stacey Ogman with 2 free throws. Gets UNLV up over the 40-point mark. Here's a 40. That's going to be free throw attempts again for Duke as they head to the line. This will be Grant Hill to the line, 73% free throw shooter. He's going to make both of them. And 63-42 is our score. 13, UNLV comes down and throws it away. Duke back the other way. Here's a 54, and that's going to be an M1 to Thomas Hill as he gets down the lane. 25 is a completed three-point play. So the old-fashioned three-point play pushes the lead to 66-42 as Duke is just pouring it on here. Getting a little revenge for 1990. Here's a 61. That's a two-point bucket from Anderson Hunt, who hits the pull-up jumper. And here's a 17. 17 is going to be a free throw attempts for Antonio Lang. He puts in the first and misses the second. So 67 is now 67-44, now the Duke lead. 68, that's going to be buckets for David Butler. He's got 5 in the game. And there's an 82. 82 is an auto bucket. That's going to be for Antonio Lang as both teams going down low to their centers and banging around a little bit. Minute 15 left in the half. And it's going to be 23. 23 is free throw attempts, and that will be to Anderson Hunt. Only a 66% free throw shooter, but he makes the first and the second. So he's got 7 in the game. 1 minute left in the half. 52. There's a 2-point attempt from Christian Leitner. He's a 58% shooter. That's a 27. So Leitner from mid-range knocks it home. Probably standing there at the top of the key. There's a 22. 22 is going to be free throw attempts, and that will be for Ogman, 67% shooter. He just makes the first one and misses the second one. So Ogman goes 1 for 2 from the line, and the score is Duke 71 and UNLV 49. So ball back to the Dukies, and they come and turn it over. I'm sure that was Hurley throwing it away. And 48, 15 seconds left in the half. 48 is going to be a 2-point attempt for Greg Anthony. And his 50 is right there at the 50. So Anthony rattles it home for 2. And last play of the half is going to be Duke with a bucket, and that's to Christian Leitner, who rolls one in as he goes down the lane. So that'll be your score at the half. After the first half of play, it's going to be Duke and UNLV. 73. So Duke 73, UNLV 51. So 22-point lead there for Duke at the half. And we'll have to do some fine-tuning with this, but that's generally the college game. A little bit simplified, and definitely need to fix these numbers. A little bit more simplified, you could also play just off of the team cards if you wanted to, and that would sort of eliminate this entire side. And you can just use the free throw 2-point, 3-point percentages for each team. And we'll work on the clock, work on maybe 20 seconds is right. We'll see, but my guess is each team has fewer possessions. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 81 possessions divided by 2. Whatever that is. 40 something. 40.5. So each team with 40 possessions or 41 is that's per half, 80 possessions. I don't know that that's not right. We'll just have to play around with that. Man, hopefully you'll play. Hopefully you'll go to the link in the description and download these teams and play them out and see, is it spot on? Is it not? Do we need to adjust maybe the runs to where they're, maybe not as frequent with the bigger runs? We'll see. Or maybe we just need to adjust the runs up here so that it's only a 1 and a 2. That way we sort of can control the scoring in a few different ways here. So with the clock, with the runs, with massaging these numbers here. So there's a few different things that we can do. Just trying to find the right formula so that it feels good. It feels like college basketball as opposed to the NBA, which is just up and down the floor scoring all the time. College basketball is typically a little bit lower scoring, somewhere between the 60s and the 90s. In the NBA, you got to push the scoring up into somewhere between 100 and 125 as a nightly possibility. So, all right. Well, this is the NCAA version. Like I said, go to the link in the description. You can download the teams. You can download the clock, and we'll fiddle with the clock a little bit more. I don't have the scoring run cards on there, so I have to put those on there as well. And then you can just fully play the NCAA version. And let me know what you think. I would love to be able to include college versions, WNBA, Euro leagues if you want Euro leagues. I think the game engine is strong enough to be able to account for that, generic enough that it can account for all those different types of leagues. We just got to figure out scoring and tempo and pace. So that's sort of the tricky part with these. But it's kind of cool to see these guys back. I remember watching these teams. So I also have another season of NBA coming out as well, 1989-90. So by popular demand, per a poll on the forums, the Delphi forums. So 89-90 is in the can. Just gotta edit it and make sure everything looks good there, and then that'll be released sometime this week. So if you want to play the Bad Boys, that's definitely a Bad Boys championship run in 1990. And then I got another 90s season coming right after that. And then maybe we'll start working our way back to maybe last season in the NBA. We've had a request for that. I know a lot of people want to play modern seasons as well, not just these older seasons. So we'll try to hit as much as we can. And it takes me a week or so to do a season. And if you want to help out with that, I think I'm getting to the place where I can bring someone on or a couple people on to do a season. If you're interested, you can just email me at uptempobasketballgame@gmail.com, and I'll put that link or that email address in the description as well. So you can just reach out to me if you'd be interested in helping out with some of the data entry for doing the team. So I can set the team up for you, and then you just got to kind of do a little bit of light data entry from Basketball Reference, but it's not anything too terribly difficult. It's just time consuming, and I've had some time off to be able to push through and put some seasons out here, but going back to work, and time will be limited each day. All right, so that's a game update plus NCAA. You're getting all kinds of things in this video, and thank you to everyone who has purchased the game, who has given any input into the game. It's been really cool to just sort of see it take off and take flight, and it seems like there's a hunger for a quicker playing basketball game that also gives you the ability to still play with each individual player. And hopefully it's bringing in some casual basketball fans as well into the tabletop basketball experience. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and